I think we could just jump right in. Definitely want to hear more about your experience, how you got here on this panel, because you're leaders, strong leaders, beautiful leaders. So I want to hear a little bit of like a story, like a recap of your career. And a question, what's one leadership principle that shapes how you run teams and make decisions? But let's pick one. Let's be quick because we're so many. And okay, Diana?
For me, honestly, it's about owning the responsibility and not controlling the teams, and letting them do their work and knowing that they have to bring the results to the table at the end of the day, but not micromanagement.
Okay, and maybe share a little bit, where are you coming from? What's your background? How did you start in iGaming?
So the story started many years ago when the dinosaurs just came to the planet, but in reality, like big switch for me happened 4 years ago when I joined Play, and I was working on B2B strategies mostly. Now I'm taking the position of CMO, and we work both on B2C and B2B directions and the product marketing. So it's like full scope influence in the business growth.
Great, Eilert.
First of all, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Just to stop your lunch, I think it's already something very special that you came specially to see us. So thank you so much for your time and for being here with us. I'm Ayelet Mamoshai. I'm actually from the famous Rock of Gibraltar. I'm a businesswoman. I'm the chairwoman of the Gibraltar Israel Chamber of Commerce. I'm a journalist. I'm an author. I published 4 books. 2 books is about relocation. I'm a relocation expert, doing relocation to over 50 countries around the world. And my other book is actually called The Ladies That Rock the Rock. It became a very crazy program in Gibraltar in cooperation with the Minister for Equality. And it's already running for 6 years, so it's really, really special. My background is actually from the gaming industry. I used to work for Bet Victor, Victor Chandler, for those of you that know this brand. Loved what I did there until I actually went to be a freelancer and never looked back. But I'm still international speaker and speaking a lot on panels in terms of gaming industry. And for your question is basically, I think one of the most important thing is your leadership is really, really important. And to know that your name is really, really important. And when you're running a team or running a group of people that looking up to you, you have to be there. You really have to be there. And I think one of the things that is really, really important for a leader is to understand that everyone is equal. And you as a leader has to be there and do the hard work as well for everyone else. And when you do that, and it's really, really important and you understand that position, your name is really important, the results are very good, and everything is happening in a good move, and everybody's actually follow your path. And when you are not a good leader, and when you're not doing that, it just all, the domino just collapse. And I think that is really, really important, to be responsible and to look really at the same level as your employees as well.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to jump in before we continue because I want to share my principle as well. And it's really the same. It's getting your hands dirty when you need to, show the team that you're one of them. And because it's very easy, I think, to get a bit ignorant or lazy in a leadership position because you can delegate so much, right? And I think it's important for me as well. I started in a startup now. We work, the space is very like startup mode. And that's, I think, super important to show that let's do this, let's fix it, let's find the root cause together. And therefore the team gets inspired thinking we are one of.
And if you're talking about inspiration, and I'm sorry, I'm actually stopping you from that, I think happiness is very important. Your positive mood is so, so important. Think about that. When you actually go to school, they teach you geography, they teach you math, they teach you English, but nobody actually teach you how to be happy. So when you're happy and you're positive, everyone around you will be happy. So I think positivity is something very, very, very important for everyone, and especially when you're a leader.
Margaret.
Hello everyone, I'm representing today slot development studio Ella Games. Regarding my background, I started to work in iGaming quite by accident, like 6 years ago, and started also from Play. But now I'm as a CFO, but now I'm the managing director of Ella Games. Regarding my background, it was quite interesting because I had a chance to work in very different industries like bank industry. Also, one more surprising one is iron ore production. So I have a chance to work in a different environment with male leaders and female as well. Regarding the principle that how I'm building the team, it's mostly shared voice. It's about building the culture when you can trust your team and everyone is allowed to raise their ideas, and when the best idea actually win regarding the hierarchy, and when you stop pretending to be the smartest person in the room, and you allow your team, the experts you hired, to express their potential for the full.
Love it. Valentina?
Okay, hi guys. I'm happy to see that more and more people are joining our discussion. I hope to see the full room till the end of our discussion. So if you have someone who you can invite, do it, because I think it will be very interesting. Coming back to my experience, I'm in iGaming industry for probably around 6 years, and I came around 6 years ago to SoftSwiss, and this is my first and the only one for till this time company where I have been working. Before SoftSwiss, I spent almost 20 years in marketing. So yes, marketing is like my lovely sphere, the place where I feel very much comfortable to work in. And frankly speaking, through all my career path, I was surrounded by really strong women who lead the teams I worked in and who helped me to shape my leadership style. So probably this is also one of the reasons why I'm here. And speaking of my leadership principle, I would say that I think that the key thing for leaders is to create a space for growth. I think that real leaders, they create environment where people can grow faster than they believe they could grow before, through responsibility, high standards, yes, of course, challenges, and feeling of ownership. So this is what I think that my key principle.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Roberta Nichols from Malta, probably the only Maltese on the floor, even though iGaming was born in Malta. So by profession, I have masters in accounts and in auditing. And I used to live in and work in various countries with the Big Four. So actually my first background is financial services, banks. And I did very well in my studies. I came first for the ACCA degree when I did it, so I like to study a lot. And then I got bored because accountancy and auditing, as you can see, I'm very bubbly. And I decided to abandon a very successful career in London and move to gaming, whilst I was also DJing. I started my career with Sigma around 12 years ago when we were just 5 people in the office. I know Emma in person because we're the same age, we're Maltese, we used to model together. And yes, from there, after that, so with Sigma, of course, I learned what are affiliates, what are operators. It was a very good base for me to get to know everyone. And then I moved to working with an operator. I had various heads there, compliance, payments, selecting suppliers, marketing. And then I moved on to the company where I work now, which is also, we have operator, we have games, and we are also an aggregator. But something very special happened 2 years ago, very coincidentally, and I need to pause here. I saw that there were going to be some awards in gaming, the MIGA Awards, that are the oldest iGaming awards, even before Sigma. And I saw some advert, and I called them and I said, can I buy a ticket, you know, because usually awards, sometimes it's just companies can buy tables. And I was talking to the president and she told me, oh, why don't you file a nomination? And I'm like, me? I'm lucky to be, you know, because when you didn't start the thing, how can I say? And basically I ended up nominating myself, and I ended up winning the iGaming Businesswoman of the Year. And of course, I did a lot of hard work, but I think not. And this is, I'm actually a bit pissed off about this because I was always the same Roberta. But because then I won the award, everyone is like, you know, and then from there I utilized the award to open my own company. I have an advisory about AI. I'm one of the heads of the AI Collective, which is one of the largest AI communities around the world. And there it goes. So it's only that spark. About your question, I think, again, from my experience, is something that Valentina touched as well, is like developing the person. But before that is, I care. I might look very maybe snob, but when you get to know me, like I really care about my employees or people that, you know, I lead or whatever. And I try to find, because everyone has the special thing. So it's important as well that sometimes we give the persons the care enough to get to know them, their abilities, and give them something that will actually highlight their abilities. Because there's always
Work on
work
their
to be
talent,
done.
right?
Yes,
Feeling the
exactly.
talent.
Exactly.
Great, love it.
Thank you.
Maybe Diana, let's go for innovation. Next question for you. What are areas in iGaming that you think are still underserved or maybe even misunderstood? And what do you see the opportunity for innovation?
I think the concept we treat innovation itself, because usually we think about innovation that it's something connected to product, feature, or special mechanic if we're talking about games. But in reality, innovation is about the culture and environment where people have freedom to express themselves, where they have trust between team members, where they can this possibility to express ideas. And in my opinion, why it matters the most in iGaming, because in particular here, new project and new great ideas which boom the market, they don't happen with only one person or one team. They happen in the intersection between companies, between departments which are passionate about the product they're building and about the creating something unique and bringing it to the table. So I think the most important here is that we are switching from the model where partnerships is just a part of the business model for the companies to a concept where it's an integral part of leadership models.
Love it. Margaret?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest underserved areas in the gaming right now is the understanding that players are way more diverse than iGaming actually assumed that they are. For many years, iGaming was built with a very one-size-fits-all model, and it's mostly like men representative area. But time is changing, the audience is changing, and the big part of women right now is representing the iGaming market. And like to compare, men is usually looking for something like short of adrenaline, fast outcome, but women, for example, they're looking for something that will connect them emotionally to the games. So we now, as innovation, we now looking for something that will emotionally connect the game with our audience, and we need to think about it. And I believe that more women in leadership and, of course, in the product team will bring something new to the to our industry, actually, because. When we can listen to the different angle, like creative angle from the women, and they are not hesitate to share their voice, we will receive much more inclusive, diverse, and responsible product, not only from the compliance perspective, but also from the perspective of player well-being and long-term trust. So, in my opinion, the future belongs to the companies that will value their players like people first, not like only metric. And when we move these stereotypes like to the past, I can say we will unlock our new stream for revenue.
Yeah, great. Actually, when I had to prepare like the questions and think what we could discuss, I realized that the more you go into leadership and management, the more power you have, right? To innovate, to suggest ideas, the more you're listened to. And that's why I have a question, which is a nice one. If you could redesign one thing in iGaming industry from scratch today, what would it be? And I just want to start with mine two pain points. Actually, I am not so involved with the regulations or compliance, but when I hear, even on panels here, the beginning, the source of, let's say, compliance, regulators and operators, the way something went wrong. Like, you know, sometimes it feels like they don't communicate or there are some misunderstandings and misconceptions. And that's why applying, obviously, maybe compliance rules that it doesn't make sense and so on and so forth. But the second thing for me is marketing, the understanding of what is a marketing agency, because I work for a marketing agency. And the feeling is that people hire marketing agency to execute, maybe give a little bit of strategy and just have like an extra extended hand or arm. But actually it's such a power if you work with a marketing agency, because like what we do is like from PR, from paid, from the talents that is there in front of your eyes of like, I don't know, 2 employee salaries is the full bouquet, right? And you have all that access. But what I feel is that it's underused. The agents, the clients, they ask for only certain things without understanding that actually you can ask for all that, you know, of that talent and bouquet. So those are my 2 things. What about Valentina? Maybe with you.
Liga, sorry, can I ask you a question first? You said about marketing agency, and you said that to this time you see that not many companies come for your service, especially speaking of strategy, right? They don't ask you to develop strategy. But in your opinion, from your side, why do you think is this happening? Because companies don't need long-term strategy or overall strategy, or because they cannot trust the expertise that you can provide?
Because it's external, right? Like, because when you come to an agency, because this is as well, that was actually my question when I started working with the agency. I thought, of course, you should have a person in-house dealing with strategy. But I think that definitely it's so worth to communicate and get all these external ideas, because we as a marketing agency, we see across, we treat like 360, right, of like what's happening with different accounts, experiences, everything. And we have that value to bring an offer. No one said you have to accept it, but just that open conversation for it. And I think that they come, it's almost like we have to remind and say like, hey guys, we can talk about your strategy. Oh, okay. I thought you can just like post my post, you know, on organic. But it's just that working together as partners, not thinking that you just hired an agency just to execute what you couldn't do in-house.
I just want to add one thing. I think it's so important actually to combine both of them, to have some external expertise from outside. And I remember at Bet Victor, once they actually see who they're dealing with and they see your potential, they will do everything to give you the stage, to be creative, to bring ideas, to do like a brainstorm. And I think it's so important because, first of all, the employee is actually feeling valued. That, wow, they gave me now a project, I need to deliver this project. It's so important. But I totally agree with you, Liga, that it has to be as well with expertise from outside that actually see everything. And sometimes when you are in that boat, you don't see.
Zoom out. a bit with
Exactly.
us.
So it's really important. So I think combination is a perfect solution, in my opinion.
Yes. With Valentina on the redesign, what's your pain point?
Thank you for coming back to this question. I mean, why I asked you about your opinion on why companies don't ask for strategies is because if I think of what I change in iGaming, if I could, of course, it seems to me that the first thing I would change, I would answer from the other side. It seems to me that our industry grew up very fast commercially during last years. But what I see that long-term thinking, strategy thinking, operational maturity, leadership maturity didn't develop well in our industry. And if I could, I would restart it a bit in a different way, because we first probably should have started to plan and think more long term. to develop our leadership skills, to invest in our culture, to think not only metrics, like you said, but also people, who, I mean, for who we work and with whom we work. And it seems to me it could create a bit different picture. But on the other hand, what I can add, we are just a young market, and we are going through the all stages other industries already went through. So everything is okay, I would say like that. We just at the stage we should be right now. So nothing dramatic is happening.
Too
But
painful.
if I could, yeah, of course, I would use more experience of other industries to make our industry more mature earlier than later.
It's almost like slow down, reflect, and then move on. But
And again, it's about long-term strategic planning, because I think we really lack it, and leadership maturity. Sorry.
I think especially when it's not an easy industry. Let's put it that way. There is a lot of country that rejects this industry. It's illegal in some areas, so it's not an easy industry. And I totally agree with you, because I think you're doing such a good job. The only thing is just to improve every year. And you know, the life now with AI and everything is just going so quickly. And I think you're actually catching up very, very quickly for that moment. So I think you're doing an amazing job in the gaming industry. I love this industry. I have a lot of clients from this industry. And I totally agree with you. You just need to improve a bit more and more and more. But you're doing brilliant. Seriously, it's amazing, amazing industry.
Diane, maybe you wanna.
Yeah, talking about catching the insights from the industry, I would say that we need to improve the process, how we deliver this industry to the table and implement real projects, because it's quite often situation when these insights are left on the table because the people who bring these insights are far away from the table, from the decision makers who really decide on whether to step on the next step. And we have to, as leaders, create the culture in the companies which will let people who are the closest to the market, who speak to clients, who get market insights from players, for example, to be free in expressing their ideas and pitching them to top management. And this will also help a lot to become more mature industry, because we will move faster with the bold ideas, test them, fail fast, and grow faster.
Can I add something?
Of course.
Because I'm probably the oldest here, and I think that complimenting again, not because it's like, no, but maybe I can hear you more. What there hasn't been in the industry. So, for example, if you look at any industry, there is like an institution, there is formal certification, there is no training, and companies. Don't tell me you are doing the data protection, the basic one. They are not investing in training. So what happens? Now, complementing as well what, Diana said, the decision makers now are far from what the reality is. Why? Because they didn't roll down the knowledge. But why they didn't? Because how iGaming started, and I'm from Malta, I know all the old, the good and the Jones and the old ones. It started by networking. So everyone has his people, their contact. It really was built on networking. And not in a bad way, I hope someone doesn't take it wrong. It's like, it's difficult for the people who were first to start releasing and going down, because it's also a loss of power. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but I think with AI, as you mentioned as well, this will change, because people have to be trained in the new way, and the people who are at the first step, especially because they are doing the basic work. So as you said, yes, now it will be changing.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the background is very chaotic for everyone working in iGaming, because there is no University of Casino.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And to get into iGaming even now, like I would have some friends, they're like, get me in iGaming. Sorry, man. Start from customer care, like all of us. We're dealing. It's
But
very
just a
difficult.
question, in Malta, there is nothing, there is no university or, I don't know, institution where you can learn the basics of iGaming?
There is some courses, but they are very basic. Actually, if you allow me, one of my things that I'm going to be doing this year, I'm going to be doing like a non-for-profit, and the non-for-profit part of it will be a school where it will teach certain things about iGaming, especially as I know a lot of people, they want to get into iGaming. It's like from zero to hero, and it's going to be for free. So yes, I want to do it because there is a lack of support,
So let me give you a scoop, okay? Are you ready? Okay, I'm coming from the famous Rock of Gibraltar, and we basically have university in Gibraltar. 2 years ago, they actually launched a degree in the gaming industry. And not just that, my son is 24 years old, and there is only two people in the world that has gaming degree, and my son is one of them. So he's 24.
Hold on, this is gaming?
You
Because
see,
gaming we
it's
have.
special.
Gaming
So it's
or
happening.
iGaming?
It's happening. It's happening.
But it is-
slowly, but it's happening.
Okay, hold on. Is it gaming or iGaming?
It's gaming.
Because gaming we have, but I'm referring more to, for example, how to become an affiliate manager, how to become... So gaming, yes, in Malta there is a lot of even game development, but not iGaming.
No, but we are talking about a university degree. We're not talking
Yes,
about just
this is a
courses. We're talking about something like...
Yes, but there is not anything about iGaming. Gaming, even Malta, we have a university that is gaming, but it's not iGaming.
Let's Google, ladies, afterwards, okay? I'm just
Sure, because I'm part of, I help them as well. So.
No, but I'm curious as well if it's actually happening. If it doesn't happen, we have to make it happen. We need a university, right, in every country. Let's circle back to leadership. And obviously understanding as well how we can see the rise in women in leadership more and more. Question is, what actually changes with that? What comes with that we have more women in leadership positions? Maybe
more man pissed off.
Just
joking.
Margaret?
Yeah, I will start. So for me, one of the biggest changes is the culture, actually, daily culture that we are speaking about this a lot on this panel. Because women leaders usually focus on listening, and when it's happening, the people, the teams, departments feel more comfortable to share their ideas. They start to communicate easily. They actually feel more careness, I guess, here. So this is the most important thing that make the change between men leadership and women leadership. But the progress in iGaming is actually undeniable, because we have a lot of successful leadership
Examples?
Thank you very much. We have a lot of successful examples of leadership, women leadership right now here, actually, and in our audience. And I'm really happy because of this. But what I want to highlight is the collaboration, and that we need to have equal not the opportunities. We need to collaborate with the men. We need to learn from each other for the good thing, for sure. Because you can always face some good leaders in men and good leaders in women as well. And you, during your path, you're learning from the good thing, I hope. And this good collaboration will lead the industry grow faster, for sure. We need to skip this thing of our ego and to start to work closely, collaboratively, and have this friendship.
Just I can support you. I also think so. But I wanted to add, this idea just now came to my head. I was just thinking about leadership and the difference. It seems to me in our industry, because we are talking about iGaming right now, men, they are more those who invest more in fast growth, in faster income, higher revenue. And when women come into the company, they start to invest more of their time into culture, values, maybe long-term planning and long-term growth. because we are to some extent different people.
Of
Yes,
course.
of course.
I don't. I work like a man.
So you are investing. Okay, that's nice.
I'm like revenue.
Revenue.
Why did you spend 1 hour this? You can do it in
Are you
15
chief
minutes.
executive officer? Probably. Okay. No, indeed, it seems to me, but this came to my head just now.
Yeah.
Probably I didn't think about
But
it
even if you
before.
think about dynamics in family, right? Each has a different role. Who brings like we say, there's a house and you make it as a home. It's kind of a more for women, right? So I think exactly there's this that comes to it. I just had the message that we have 10 minutes left. So if there are any questions, 7, I don't know.
Oh my God.
But if I have more questions myself, but if there's anything in the anyone in the audience, yeah.
If I can answer that, work hard, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's just like, if you really want to be successful or to get somewhere in life, I think you need to understand that nothing comes easily. I don't believe in luck, to be honest with you. I have to say it out loud, because there is a lot of people that saying, "Oh, she's so lucky." No. Nobody actually know the amount of hours that I've been dealing in the background, doing so many things. And nobody actually see the hard work. They just see the smile, but you're smiling all the time and you're traveling so much and you're doing so much. People don't understand, to travel and to be in meetings and to be in restaurants and coffee places, it's not sexy. I promise you, it's not. It's very, very, very tough. But people that want to achieve something and they have something in mind, just work really, really hard and you will get it. I promise you, there is no questions about it.
Yes, but this question, let's answer all. Roberta, what about you?
So I agree with what you said. 2 things: woman leader or not leader. If you want to advance, 1, AI. If you are not doing AI, and this I think is for the men, or you think you're just using AI, if you want to be a leader or advance or even have a job, you really need to get this going, and not just ChatGPT. You need to know the tools to be faster and more productive. And number 2 is continuous learning. If someone in this room, probably I'm the oldest here in this room, I'm gonna be 50 this year, tells me, "Oh, but I'm too old to study." Hello, I am 50 and I do 2 to 3 hours every day when I'm not doing the conferences, watching videos of YouTube, and I'm still learning, I still take notes. So there's no way that you're too old or whatever. And
Turning 50 is not old, you know that.
well, I think people in this room are half of my age. And I needed to say something, but I forgot because you cut me off.
Okay, if you remember, you can.
I can add something.
Okay, yeah, okay, go on.
Okay, one of the things that I really want to mention, and I think I always say it in all my different lectures, is first of all, people need to define what they really, really want. And you know what? We don't really want the same, okay? One of the things that I always said is, if you want just to be with your kids at home and having lunch every single day, and this is success for you, so this is success. If you want to open a bakery, a nice bakery, and this is success for you, so that is fantastic, this is success. And if you want to be a leader in the iGaming industry with 400 employees, and this is success for you, this is success. The most important thing is, don't be jealous in anyone. Get inspired. Always get inspired. Always look up at someone, but don't be jealous. First of all, jealousy is not good, okay? Really not good. It's not taking you anywhere. So I think once you clear the jealousy, you define exactly what you want to do in your life, and you focus in. And every success that you say to yourself, this is my success. I'm not comparing myself to nobody else. That's what I believe. That's what I want to do. Just go and do it, and do it.
Ladies, I have a question. Sorry, microphone is not working. So, oh yeah. How does it feel sacrificing family for the career, and does it worth it even? I think it's really important for us to hear out.
I did sacrifice career for, my family. When my son was very young, 3, I went to live in London and work there. You get repercussions, yes, so it depends. It depends.
I don't-
But now, Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So now, again, with the age of AI, more remote working, and this is why I wanted to add something that even, for example, for women who have kids, now there has never been a right time. So, for example, just to answer your question as well and continue from what I said before, let's say you were an affiliate manager before having kids, right? Or work in affiliation, and you have kids, you cannot go back to traveling, so on. With the help of AI, if you listen to, you can create your own website nowadays. In a weekend, you can have your own website. So there has never been a time for females to be either leaders or at least stay in the game. So now there is more compromise, but yeah.
Does it worth it, what we are doing, actually, in this industry, being a leader, sacrificing our families?
The thing is, now it's more accepted. Like my son now is 27, so this is, oh, you're going to London to work, because I had an opportunity there. Now it's more accepted, that maybe even the men or work from home or flexible. I mean, 27 years ago, there was no work from home. There was no reduced hours. So I think now the culture is changing. And however, if the woman is working, this can also benefit the kids because you are more knowledgeable, so.
And husbands?
I think it's better if the woman works, so they are more challenged, that they are not, you're not dependable. But it depends, so balance is always
I just wanted to add one thing. I think that everything boils down to the person. And if a woman is happy having a family, but is not fulfilled completely with just family and raising a child, the mom will be unhappy, So if you want to pursue, it's gonna be hard. I have a 6-year-old son. It's very hard sometimes, but I know that I'm doing it just to be happy and show as well him an example of how to be happy, how to try to do it all.
I just want to add that I actually have 3 kids. Okay, one is 24.
Bravo.
Thank you. A very proud mom. This is my most rewarding job ever, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. One is 24, one is 20, and the little one, she's 15. And I want to tell you one thing. You said sacrificing, and it's a very harsh word for me, and I'll tell you why. Because I started my business when my kids were little, really, really little. So they actually saw all the roller coasters that I had in my life. But every time I used to travel for business, and I'm traveling a lot, I used to take one of my kids or the 3 kids with me, having some meetings. The babysitter is looking after the kids. Once I finish, I'm taking them to a different educational sites on specific places that we're going. So I think it's so important not to feel bad about yourself. I can tell you that my little girl, that she's 15, she visited already 60 countries around the world. You know what a gift you give to this child? You know the way that you will look now at life, at men, women, everyone, and she's part of everything. So now she's 15, she doesn't want to come with me anywhere anymore. I'm a lady of leisure in that respect, but I can tell you it's possible, you can do it, and just to see the fruit that I'm picking up now for my kids, I think it's remarkable, and it's very, very special for me as a mom, as a woman, and I think don't give up on your dreams. Everything is possible, and you combine everything together with your husband that will be happy and married for 26 years, and with 3 kids as well. So it's possible, and if people will tell you that it's not, they are lying to you.
Thank you so much, ladies. Really insightful.
Last one? 1 minute, yeah?
Yes.
And then
I would like to look at this question from a bit a different angle, because talking about family is a bit narrow, because building career requires you to sacrifice lots of things, not only family, free time, time for sport, time to see your friends, time to go on vacation. When you stay at the computer for 12 hours and you skip your gym workout, you need to know the price. Why you do it? Working out is hard. Not working out is also hard. Having job is hard. Not having job is also hard. Having money is hard. Making money is hard. And not having money to live is also hard. You just need to choose your heart, your priority in life, and go for it.
on this note, we're gonna wrap it up. Thank you, ladies. This was beautiful. I loved it. Look at the room. We got it full.